I mean, they haven't made the playoffs in forever, and it seems like they're going to make the playoffs this year. Offensively, when you go to Sacramento, you have to score 125 points. Period. They're going to score, and that's, I mean, extremely powerful. But it seems like they really just, they are always scoring, and the difference is if they can get stops or not. I haven't seen anyone consistently shut down Sacramento's offense, and I'm not the biggest Sabonis fan, but man, he looks really good running that offense out of the high post. I got to give him some credit there, guys.
I mean, this is sort of the what we didn't get to see enough of in Indiana. If you liked Sabonis, like sort of the turbocharged version of a Princeton style offense, where you bring the big man up off the floor and you use a bunch of cutting, a bunch of off ball movement. The segment that he and De'Aaron Fox did on NBA Today, where they were just talking about like their elbow handoff, the options they run off that and how that's impossible to guard. It's just like, first of all, that was great TV. Second of all, like, yeah, good luck with that, especially when you have, multiple shooters around that. And I think in some ways that's as much as anything, that's probably as good an illustration we can get of why the NBA is in such an offensive heyday. Is, you've got this very gifted, offensively talented center who's maybe not the best defender. And it seems like, when faced with that choice, 20 out of 30 teams are choosing to go with the offensive guy over the defensive guy.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really interesting squad, just in general. I think just the most important thing is they got the chemistry right. The vibes are great with everything. And I think that does start with, you get that from coaching, from Mike Brown, in that keeping everybody going. The rotations are pretty solid. I mean, Trey Lyles had a monster game this week, like just a random moment, shout out to the playback guys for Trey Lyles time. I think you just have a lot of those guys kind of stepping in and nobody just kind of bats an eye. I think a lot of people are looking around going like, what can they do at the trade deadline and things like that? Like, they need rim protectors and stuff, but I don't think they need to do that now. And I think more importantly, I think the bigger thing right now is just roll with what you have. And let's see how this thing finishes right now. And then you tweak later. Right now, don't tweak in the moment. They're rolling. And I think this is a very interesting squad with just the chemistry and the vibes that they have.
Yeah, I mean, they extended their front office. The Monty McNair gets a multi-year extension. Wes Wilcox gets a multi-year extension. Halfway into a successful season, which, all right, I would say go ahead and jump the gun. You don't want to lose those guys, but also, maybe pump the brakes is 1 year.
You're the Kings. Be careful with the jinx. You're the
right.
Kings. The jinx is, we've seen it too many times.
But my theory here is this is a commitment to the slower build. It's a commitment to not go and just say, hey, we're going to push a bunch of chips in and do whatever. And this is a team that, I mean, they have the offensive firepower. If they can just find a way, their defense is not good. It is a little bit better than it has been. And I know, Seth, you're about to bring up the bad shooting luck that they've had, but I think trying to find a way to raise that defense this summer is going to be like, that's priority number one. And I think they ought to wait until the summer. Don't make any moves at the trade deadline, stand pat, roll through. And hey, look, you could probably improve this team on the margins, but you're not going to get the guy that you need. Like Miles Turner might be a free agent this summer. Miles Turner's a guy who, next to Sabonis, we already know. I mean, not Miles Turner, but someone in that ilk that can actually provide some rim protection. They need a bit of a rising tide on defense. I think that'll be their summer project, but I really hope they don't make any moves.
Let me ask you this question. Can Sabonis play with the rim protector? Like we saw it with Miles Turner. Like, are we going to like, what, like I would have said, okay, a rim protector that could shoot. He just left one. Like it's one, yeah. Like it's an interesting conundrum in terms of team building, but that's also future Kings problem. Right now they just need to make sure they finally break that record and make the playoffs, because it's important. Like that's their Super Bowl. That's their championship. Make the playoffs, even if you get swept in the first round. Freaking your championship right there. And then work on the rest, work on it from there.